So good evening and welcome to the Student Government Association Town Hall. Speaking to you as President Fry of the association, I, along with your student leaders, wanted to present a brief non-email info session on the outlook, regulations, and updates for this term. Whether you are back with us in person or utilizing the Flex-It-Pit model, it's important and crucial to keep up to date with all things UPJ. So without further ado, I would like to kick off this evening's event by inviting President Dr. Spector to address the Mountain Cat community first. Dr. Spector.
Good evening, everyone. It's cold out there, but I'm pleased to join you tonight. Delighted, actually, to share a little good news that might brighten your day a little bit, which is nice. We just received word that the CMRO will be lifting the shelter in place tomorrow. So this is the last day of shelter in place. And I thought that's something, I don't like sheltering in place. I know we have to do it. It's what we have to do for safety, like everything else we've had to do in this period, maintain good habits. So that's some good news. And of course, room visitation and there's going to be a new policy announced, and Vice President Stumpf will talk about that in a minute. So in the time that I have left, I just wanted to thank you all for really being strong, being resilient, as we like to say, being Mountain Cat strong at a time where there's so much challenge, so many stresses, so many new ways that we have to try to go about our daily life, so many sacrifices we have to make, so much pain that either you or your loved one has experienced because of this pandemic. I want to thank you for being strong and to tell you that I am hopeful that we are soon going to be on the other side of this, and we'll get back to something of a normal campus definitely by the fall term. So keep staying strong, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Spector. Up next, I'd like to welcome the Vice President of Student Affairs, Chris Stumpf.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I was thrilled to talk with Dr. Spector about the lifting of sheltering in place a few minutes ago. So thank goodness that period is over, and hope we never have to do it again, ever. But I certainly hope that's the case. Dr. Spector teased a little bit. We do have a new policy that is going to go into effect, I guess, tomorrow for visitation on residence hall facilities. Bob and Kelly will go over it. It's going to allow resident students to safely visit another residence facility on campus, just with studies, to see a friend, things like that, to communicate, to have a little human interaction. Of course, the safety protocols will still be in place, masks and distancing and things like that. And there'll be limitations on it, but the whole entire Pitt community pushed for this, the entire Pitt Student Affairs community pushed for this, and it was granted. So we're quite happy to be able to offer that little extra freedom / normalcy. So I'm going to turn it over now to Bob and Kelly to talk a little bit about housing and residence life issues.
Thanks, Chris. Hi, everybody. It's great that people are back on campus. We didn't think it was ever going to happen. It was like the longest extended ghost town, I think, in history. So welcome back. We're thrilled that you're all back. As Chris mentioned, there will be an update to the visitation policy, and we're going to be posting that to the website tomorrow. Chris pretty much summarized it. Each resident will be allowed to have up to one guest in their room, not in the common areas, but in the room. And it has to be another resident. The only restrictions is it can't be a commuter or a non-student. It has to be another resident. And we're going to be posting some information. There are some occupancy limits based on the square footage. So we'll have all of that available tomorrow on the housing page. But it's like you've all been paroled. You can have guests again. So we're thrilled that that's going to happen, and well deserved. And we just want to thank all of you for your patience and cooperation. I know that the housing experience, you kind of feel like we're locking you in there. But Kelly, who will speak in a minute, has done an amazing job in residence life to make sure that you still have some opportunities for programming and you're still engaged in Heather Hall as well. So hopefully, this semester will go well for you. Two questions we're getting a lot of right now, and I'm just going to throw, I'll throw these out there. Recontracting, or the process for signing in for housing for next year, typically happens about 2 weeks from now. We're going to wait probably an extra week because we still have people who are coming back to campus, and we want you all to get settled. And we need to make some tweaks to our system. The way the system is set up, if you're not living on campus in the fall and spring, you aren't eligible and you have to wait until May. We don't want to do that because we have students who plan to live on campus. So we need to make some tweaks of the system. So watch your emails. You'll be getting something probably about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, letting you know that the application is open. And then, the other question we're getting is group housing. If you want to live in a lodge, live in a townhouse, that information will go out probably this first or second week of March. We'll explain the process for doing that. I'm gonna give you all kind of a little hint. Townhouses at Willow fill almost immediately, but the 5-person townhouses don't fill as quickly. So if you want to be in a townhouse, and you can get a group of 5 people, you might have a better chance of getting into a townhouse. So I just want to mention that there's a little secret for all of you to try to improve your chances of getting into a townhouse. That's everything I have. I'm going to turn it over to Kelly DeVette, who is, as the new person in the office, the assistant director for Residence Life, has been amazing.
Hey everyone. So Bob had mentioned about programming within the residence halls. So I just wanted to remind you to check with your RAs if you don't see any signs up. But within the remainder of the month of February, I do believe there's a little bit over 20 programs left within the different halls. So make sure you go out there, participate. I'm sure your RAs would love to see you get out there and get active on campus. In addition to that, I do want to draw your attention. I'm sure some of you might have seen these signs around campus. We have once again begun our hunt for some new RAs or resident assistants on campus. If that's something that you would be interested in doing, you can reach out to a member of your resident assistance staff in your building. But if not, I'm going to give you the contact number or email for one of our area coordinators who is coordinating the project. Her name is Danielle Smith, and her email is des140@pitt.edu. She can give you any information that you need. The application is now open and will remain open until later this month, and then the selection and the interview process will begin from there. But we'd love to have you all come out and apply. If that's something you'd be interested in, you'd increase your leadership skills, interpersonal skills. It's a really good resume builder. So if that's something you're interested in at all, we do have some information sessions. We have 4 more coming up. So feel free to ask Danielle about more information on that as well. But welcome back to campus. We love having you all here. That's all I have.
Thank you, Bob and Kelly. So next up from our wonderful dining team, we have Chris Mongian and Deborah Houston.
Guys, how you doing? I just want to, tell you that there's been several challenges over the last year as we came on board here, and I appreciate the students' patience and working with us to make things as pleasant as possible as we work through those things. I'm happy to hear that the elevated status is going to be lifted and folks will be coming back to the dining facilities, and that's fantastic news. And we'll be able to get back to a little bit more of normalcy here. So I'm looking forward to that and working with you. I know there were a couple questions on the that were sent out earlier in regards to the Boost app, and I'm going to let Deverick speak to that because he's the one that kind of does the setup and the programming on those, and he's got some more information to share. So thanks for having us on your call.
I actually have a very quick PowerPoint that I just wanted to go over that may answer some of those questions that students may be having as it relates to dining services and some of the Boost app things and things of that nature. So I'll quickly go over that. Sorry. So in residential dining, of course, we're about to resume in-person seating, which we're very excited about. There's just a few, rules, of course, that there are to that, as some of you are familiar with from last semester. We are asking that Fresh 52, the salad and deli bar, continue to be ordered through Boost. We want to heavily push that to-go program still. We do have our Eco Green clamshells that you can use. And then you'll see on all of the tables, whenever you come to dine, table flippers, the green means it's ready to sit. It's been sanitized and cleaned. And once you flip that over, once you're done eating, it'll alert one of our associates to come over and clean that table for our next guest. Of course, masks must be worn at all times, except for when you're seating to eat. And reservations will also still be required. And then, of course, as always, menus and more information can be found in our Dine on Campus app. And then we're always available to answer any quick questions, quick concerns via our text to chat system, which is, that number is 814-250-3055. And myself or Chris usually answers those within the hour. Teaching kitchens, we're going to be releasing these once a month, something fun to do in your room while you're joining us. We're going to be giving away some teaching kitchen kits so you can make them in your room. All very quick stuff. Chef Allen and a few other of our culinarians will be doing that. For the month of February, we already had our Super Bowl wing event this past, I don't know why that says Wednesday, but this past Sunday. And then tonight, actually, for dinner, we're having our Winter Carnival night full of all of your carnival favorites. And then next Tuesday, we'll be having our Mardi Gras event, which we're extremely excited about. And then as it comes to retail, so Boost will remain highly encouraged while we are resume in-person ordering, but Boost will still be highly encouraged. We are continuously making updates in the Boost app to accommodate certain customizations. I understand that was an issue for some of the students. So we're definitely working to add more customization in there. Unfortunately, our team on site is not app developers, but we work closely with our app developers to make those changes that you asked. And then please take advantage of our limited time offers and things of that nature, and our new student choice location, which you all voted on before you left over the winter break for Two Taco. And here's our limited time offers there. The grill is going to be offering a Chipotle Ranch Bacon Burger, Fiesta Power Salad, and then we'll have 2 for $2.50 on our bottled beverages as well. So please take advantage of that once we resume in-person ordering. And then Fuel for Life. So this program is what we use in order to make sure that everyone can be accommodated when it comes to their eating habits. We want to encourage a healthy lifestyle. So ask our culinarians more about our Fuel program. And then, as always, please follow us on social media at UPJ Eats, where you can find updates, live updates about Boost, any of the specials that we're having, and up and coming events. So that's about all I have for you today. And I think I answered that question about Boost. If I did not, please let me know. Thank you.
That was some great news and updates about dining. Thank you guys for hearing.
Tessa, can I interject for just 1 second? I just want to make sure everything's clarified for a second. We are leaving shelter in place. We are still in the elevated posture, which at this point does not permit in-person dining. Okay, the in-person ordering at the tuck shop may resume, but the in-person dining is still not permitted in the elevated status. So I just want to make sure that was clarified for everybody. Okay.
Thank you for that clarification, Chris.
No problem.
So now hearing from Conduct and our Health Counseling Services, we have Todd Schaefer and Shelley Prusso.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. Welcome back, everyone, to a very different spring semester. We probably feel like it's deja vu because it's probably about 11 months since things pretty much shut down and the world turned upside down. For those of you who are on campus, if you happen to walk past our office in the Union, you may think we're out of business. It is dark, but trust me, our counseling staff is very active. We are continuing to take requests for counseling for those of you who would like to pursue that, whether you're living on campus right now or you're at home. You can contact our office by our office email, ohcs@pitt.edu. and one of our counselors will be in touch with you. Our nurse is there usually several days a week, but she's also available remotely should you need her, should you have any health concerns. It seems that the predominant concern right now is people who suspect that they may have some COVID symptoms. Please don't be shy about calling us, calling any one of us. Even though we're working remotely, our office phones are being forwarded to our cell phones, so your call will be answered. The exception for that may be if I'm on a Zoom call, but please leave a message and we will get back in touch with you to discuss that, because your health is just way too important to delay anything. Disability services, for those of you who have not yet renewed your academic accommodations, please get in touch with me if you desire to have those accommodations for the remainder of the semester. That's pretty much it for me. Glad to have you back.
Welcome back, everybody. Glad to see students back on campus. Nothing new and exciting too much out of student conduct. Our student conduct stays the same as it was last semester. But one thing I did want to point out, the Pitt University has come up with an expungement program. So if you and I have met a couple years ago or a couple months ago, and there's some sanctions or other things like that, you can apply for expungement of your code of conduct record. So please read the code of conduct. It explains that process that you might be able to apply for expungement of your student conduct record. So read that. And as always, please let's not meet this semester. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Todd and Shelley. So now back to Vice President Stumpf, representing Student Activities and Engagement Office.
Yes, well, I'm glad to be back. Heather could not be here this afternoon. She's feeling a little under the weather. So I am here to represent our Activities and Engagement Office. Since we are now moving to from shelter in place to elevated, we're student activities are permitted to go on with certain limitations that we ended up at the end of the fall semester. And Heather's communicating that to different organizations through the Residence Life program. We're focusing on, once again, trying to get outdoors, which provides a little more freedom and numbers to attend in-person events, things like that. The weather's a little sketchy right now, unless we want to do a snowball fight or something like that. But we're trying to implement things like nature hikes, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing. A group of engineers built an igloo on campus last weekend that I just found out about. So they're just trying to get outside and do some outside activities. We're also looking at doing some limited inside activities, and we're planning for some expanded in-person activities later in the semester in the hopes that we're positioned, guarded, or even better, I don't know, but to be able to offer a little more in-person activities. We're also hosting a full slate of virtual things. I know virtual isn't anybody's choice for much of anything right now, but there is some virtual activities, some speakers. There's a poetry series coming up next week. We're also doing what turned out to be very popular last semester, make and takes, like at-home crafts led by someone on Zoom, which we're quite popular. So we're doing a whole bunch of that type of things, and we're encouraging student groups to continue with their student group activities. So we really want to keep our student groups intact and support them. You all still have budgets. You all still are able to spend your organizational monies in the appropriate ways, but we just don't want to lose all the student engagement that we've gained over the past few years. So please be active. Please talk to Heather if you have questions, or myself, John Zayat's in the office here, and we will be able to help you keep your organization going throughout this difficult time.
Thank you, Chris. So I just wanted to thank everyone who joined us this evening. And if you still have further questions, comments, or concerns in regards to the semester or UPJ, I wanted to let you know to please reach out to SGA Senator today. Reiterating that we're here to represent you and your best interests during your time spent with us. Our next information session will be the President's Meeting. This will be held at 6 p.m. on Monday, February 15th, indeed on the actual President's Day. So a reminder to continue to mask up, stay strong, and keep forging through. So to stay informed, please be avidly checking your emails and socials to stay engaged and up to date about all things Pitt Johnstown. So Vice President Drew Hurd and I would like to personally thank you for joining us this evening. And as always, hail to Pitt.